Greetings, brothers and sisters. Hello and welcome back to Eva's House of Spirit. Welcome back to my 13 Days of Samhain holiday series. Today's focus, the theme of this video, is going to be decoration, Samhain decoration. So before I get into the stuff I want to cover, the real substance of this video, I did want to touch upon why decoration for this holiday is such an excellent thing to do. The first, most obvious thing about it is it's fun, but also decorating for Samhain, it invites the spirit of the season in, the spirit of the holiday, and or if you consider it to be one, the holy day. This also gives us an opportunity to express our feelings about the season and the holiday or holy day in creative ways. Decorating can be a bonding experience between loved ones, particularly when it's an activity that you all do together, whether it be with your significant other, with your family like your parents, your brothers and sisters, your children, even your friends. And also, decoration can help to shift us into the headspace and emotional place of this time of year. There's so many excellent reasons to decorate for Samhain. And depending on what your needs and desires happen to be, your focus in decoration might be more indoor, it might be more outdoor, or it might be a little bit of both. There are no right or wrong ways to go about decorating, obviously, for Samhain. The sky's the limit. Whatever you feel that you want to do, that's entirely up to you, and there are so many sources of creative inspiration out there, be it like Martha Stewart, who, by the way, features some really excellent ideas. I have done some of her creative things in the past, and for Samhain, for Halloween, and it's just tons of fun. But I mean, like, even in other respects, there are other sources. If you just Google Samhain decorations or Halloween decorations, DIYs, you'll find so many interesting and fun and creative things out there, ideas and tutorials. So at this point, I'd like to show you where I am at in terms of decoration. So far, I've only really done my front door, and I want to kind of give you a look at that. Okay, so I'm holding my laptop, so if there's a little shakiness going on here, please forgive me. I'm trying to hold this thing steady, but here, let me show you what I've done so far. I'm quite proud of this. So let me move back and let me push that back so you can see it a little better. This is what I've done so far. You can see that I have some fall foliage and some sugar skull motifs, and I have a wreath in the center of the door. What I did here for the sugar skulls, for the sugar skull motifs, I have the black with the white details, and then I have the white with the black details. I found some clip art online, and first of all, I printed out the white ones with the black details, and then in Photoshop I inverted the image and I printed them black with white details, and I proceeded to cut them out, and I used a glue stick to paste the black ones with white details onto orange paper, and I pasted the white ones with black details onto black paper, and I cut them to fit the frames in the windows of my front door. And I will have for you the clip art for these in the Eva's House of Spirit Facebook page, not the group, the page. And these fall foliage, these pieces of fall foliage, these are window clings. I bought these quite a while ago. Sorry, I'm trying to show you the windows without capturing too much of the reflection of the computer. These are window clings I bought a while ago. Yeah, I have different ones going on here. By the way, if you're wondering who this guy is, he stays up all year round. That's a house protectorate. Anyhow, so yeah, I have these window clings going on. And I also have this really interesting wreath here in the middle of my front door. This is actually a wreath that let's see if I can move into the right angle so you can see it straight on. This is a wreath that I had decorated differently originally, but I kind of, not repurposed it, but I like refaced it, I redecorated it for this year. And I have some nice black flowers and some like icy looking leaves on there and some golden berries, and you know, you can see how it kind of looks. But yeah, so this is how I decorated my front door for this year. I have not gotten around to decorating the rest of the front of my house, but I will be doing that, and in some future episode I will be showing you the rest of my outdoor decor. I have also not gotten into indoor decor yet at all because I've just been so busy, but when I also have that complete, I will be showing you that in a future episode as well. But anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed this quick little look at what I have so far. And yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments what you think about my theme for this year for my front door. That's not your question of the day, but I just, you know, I welcome your opinions and your insights. So now that I've showed you kind of what I've got going on my front door, I would like to share with you my little sort of tutorial of how I redecorated that wreath for the middle of the front door, just to kind of give you a sense of how I kind of put that together. Maybe it can inspire you in how you might redecorate a wreath in your own decoration pursuits. So without further ado, let's get into that. For this tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through some steps that I'm going to be taking in order to create a wreath for my front door. This may or may not be the best tutorial because I'm kind of starting with my foundational wreath that I can't really show you the exact steps for because this is a wreath that I'm upcycling from years past. What it's made out of, I'm going to show it to you here. This is a woven wreath that I made using weeping cherry fronds. There's a tree in my backyard. It's a weeping cherry. Basically, it's like a cherry tree, but it looks like a weeping willow. Instead of, you know, the branches growing up right, they weep like a weeping willow's branches. Well, a few years ago, I wove this wreath, and it's really easy to weave wreaths from long fronds that have fallen from willow trees or weeping cherry trees or other long, you know, pliable natural materials. With this piece of a fake plant, I'm going to show you sort of the motion of how you would weave. It's really simple. You're going in a circle, and basically, of course this would be on a larger scale, but you're basically just kind of wrapping repeatedly around and around. You're wrapping around like that, and you just keep going and going and going, and you build upon the wreath, and then you would let it, you know, it would eventually be like that. You could trim, you know, but going all around and in several layers, and then you just kind of trim off the ends, you let it dry, and then you have your wreath base like this one. Sorry, the back is kind of messed up because originally I had it glued onto something, and this was decorated differently in the past. But I tore off what was on the back. I tore off all the decorations that were on it that I didn't like anymore. You can even see some glue still here. But I'm going to redecorate this for this year's Samhain wreath. Now what I'm doing right now is I have my glue gun warming up on some newspaper. I have some extra glue sticks with me, and I have some ribbon here. I have black and silver. Before I get to actually decorating this wreath with any kind of flowers and little, you know, decor pieces, I'm planning to hot glue some ribbon kind of going around this a little bit to kind of give it a little bit of pizzazz, a little black and silver in there. I'm thinking of theming this in colors of black and silver, maybe also some natural sort of colder looking leaf colors. Let me show you that real quick. Now I'm going to pull the leaves off of this, but you can see this fake, this little fake sprig here. The leaves on it look sort of icy. I'm going to pull off some of these leaves and incorporate them into my design. Not sure if I'm going to do something with these, if I'm going to paint them silver or what, or black or something like that. I'm not sure. Also, I have a whole slew here of fake flowers that I'm going to be painting in colors of like black and such, maybe some silver, I don't know yet. I'm going to be coloring these, painting these in order to incorporate some of these onto my wreath. I don't have a set plan of exactly how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to take you through the steps as much as I can to kind of at least inspire you in regard to what you can sort of do to make a similar wreath or some such thing. One thing that I did forget to mention is that you can see I wrapped twine around this. That's how I made the bow. I basically made a bow out of twine, a bunch of twine going this way, and then I tied like a knot around it, and then I undid the twine string to make, and I spread it out to kind of make that twine bow. I'm planning to embellish this on the top somehow. I'm not exactly sure yet what I'm going to do. I have an idea of maybe incorporating a skull design or something like that into the middle. But you know what? We're going to play it by ear, and again, I'm going to show you what I do kind of as I'm doing it, okay? Now the first thing I want to do, I want to incorporate, as I said before, some of this silver ribbon kind of going around this. So where I'm going to begin wrapping it, I'm going to go behind the bow so that it's kind of hidden. Source, the spot of origin is going to be kind of hidden. I'm going to put some hot glue there, and I'm going to glue down the ribbon so that it begins behind the bow. I want to keep it, you know, so it looks like it's wrapped all the way around. So that's what I've done with the silver ribbon. I've kind of gone around it nicely. And I'm not worried about, for example, that piece of twine kind of sticking out a little bit, because that's going to get covered later with like foliage and stuff. It's going to get decorated over. So now I have this really pretty black ribbon, and I want to go in the opposite direction as the as the silver. So this is my basic wreath loop. No worries if there are imperfections in the twine or in the ribbon, because I'm going to be adding foliage and decoration and stuff to this. This is not the finished product by any means. Okay, so I pulled off 3 of these icy looking leaves and I cut off the bottom parts. See how I kind of cut that a little bit? Because I was kind of looking at it how I wanted to attach it to my wreath. I don't want the bottom parts to kind of stick into the center too much. So what I'm going to do with these 3 leaves is I'm going to glue them like this, and then I'm going to glue them to the wreath. So yeah, I have these 2 sets of leaves to kind of glue onto the wreath where the flowers and such are going to go. And now I'm going to proceed to attach these to my wreath. I'm going to kind of do one at the top and one at the bottom. Just dropping like a whole mess of glue on there. So I've glued these down like so, like so. I'm going to trim out a little more of the inside part with the scissor very carefully. It's a little tough. Yeah, so that's how it's coming along thus far. And next I have to prepare my floral pieces that are going to attach to this. Now unfortunately for me, I ran out of black spray paint, but I'm going to be painting these flowers, these fake flowers, black using black acrylic paint and a rather big brush. And then I'm going to stand, I left these on their stems because I'm going to be standing them up in this cup once they're painted so that they can dry. And then once they're dry, then I can glue them onto my wreath. So let's get messy. Oh my god, this doesn't want to open. Give me a second. Okay, I got it. Nice big slop of black paint. Oh, yeah. Good thing this is acrylic and it's like washable with water and soap. Okay, so yeah. I'm just basically going to, let me dilute this a little bit with some water. I'm just basically going to paint up my flowers, paint them up black. Yeah, these were like super cheap. I think they were on sale at Walmart, these flowers. These were like super, super, super cheap. And I'm just trying to, I know this is so messy. Spray paint would have worked so much better. But again, unfortunately, I am out of spray paint. But acrylic will work. Acrylic will work. And don't be afraid to get messy, folks. It's for the sake of the season. Oh no. Alright, my fingers are going to get dirty, whatever. Ugh. Yeah, this is so messy. May as well just go wild with my fingers because, yeah, we're going there. And I'm just coating the petals completely with acrylic paint. Trying to thin out how much is actually on here because the thinner the coat, the quicker it will dry. And now I'm going to try to reattach my, there you go, my stick that came out. And now we have a beautiful black flower. And that's going to look awesome on my wreath. Alright, flower number 2. Just pretty much gonna, I'm just gonna finger paint at this point. I may as well, right? I'm already messy. So I'm just gonna get crazy. I'm gonna tap into that inner child mindset and energy. There's nothing wrong with getting messy. As long as you're having fun and it's not hurting nobody. No worries, folks. No harm, no foul. Ooh, and yeah, so you see what I'm basically doing? I'm basically just rubbing the paint, the acrylic paint, onto all of, oh man, I shouldn't have probably worn my ring. I should have taken it off before doing this, but it's okay. I can brush the stones out with a toothbrush or whatever. What the hell was I saying? Yeah, I'm just rubbing the flowers to cover them well with the black acrylic paint. Making sure I don't miss any spots. Making sure to fully black the flowers. I have to wash my hands now. So I'm going to move this up because I just want to show you. This is how I'm letting my painted flowers dry, and they're really pretty. And what I plan to do with these on my wreath here, I think I'm going to attach some flowers here, up here probably, maybe behind like the bow. I might put one in the middle, so that might be a little nice touch. I'm also debating adding some kind of foliage behind the wreath on this side so it's not as lopsided, but I'm not sure about that yet. I'm still kind of building my concept for this wreath. But you know, work in progress, you know, it's coming along. For the sake of speeding up this tutorial, I thought I would just show you what I did. I blew dried the flowers with my blow dryer so that they would dry quicker. I cut these smaller, 3 of them, so that you could still see the wreath formation in the flowers. If I left them big, it just wouldn't have done the wreath justice. Now on the back, you can notice that in the spots where it seemed a little blank, because I had the icy leaves here and here. Back here I did a triad with an icy leaf and 2 smaller leaves, and I also did that on the opposite side on the front. I glued those to the back to kind of give the wreath more of a balanced shape and form and appearance. I added in those little gold berries there and there. And of course I added the skull to the top, and when it hangs nicely like so. Let me show you this on a white background. So this is what my wreath is going to look like when it hangs. It's going to look rather nice, and I think it pays a nice homage to the other world. I think it's a really cute wreath for the center of my front door. Moving right along now that you've seen that, now that you've had a glimpse of what I've done, I think it's time for the question of the day. My question of the day for you to respond to in the comments if you so choose is, are you more excited about and interested in decorating indoors or outdoors? Do you generally do like one more than the other? Which one do you enjoy and look forward to more? I'd love to hear about that, your thoughts relating to that sort of stuff. I want to hear about where your focus is in terms of decorating for Samhain. And for today's writing exercise, this one is in a sense a little bit twofold. If you haven't already decorated for Samhain, I invite you in your Samhain journal to plan your decoration, theme and or themes, or what you want to kind of do, like plan your decorations. That's the first part. If you've already decorated, you don't have to do that. But then the second part of this, for the second part of your writing exercise, whether you have or haven't decorated yet, whether you have or haven't planned to decorate yet, or what you're doing or whatever, I invite you to consider what deeper meanings your decorations may have, if any. Like, is there any prevailing theme? And if so, why might that be? For example, you'll notice in my front door decor that I showed you, there was a prevailing theme that centered very much on death and passage and sort of decline, with the fall leaves, with the skulls, all that kind of stuff. There was very much a death theme about my front door. In my case, death, I will admit, the idea of dying itself is something that, I'm not going to lie, there's a degree to it that scares me. But I'm working on accepting death without fear. And I'm also exploring the less literal aspects of death. Death being basically a passage into a different state of being, letting go, things like that, not being afraid to embrace the unknown. These are things that I'm exploring, and so that's why I deliberately, consciously chose to utilize my holiday decorations as a form of further exploration, almost meditation, into the energy about this season and what I'm working through. And now I also want to encourage you, before I wrap this video up, to not forget to check out the witchy link of the day in the description below. I hope you will find it fun, interesting, exciting, whatever, inspiring. And until next time, until our next exchange, until the next episode of this 13 Days of Samhain holiday series here at Eva's House of Spirit, you all stay awesome, and bye-bye for now.